Today's Daily Founder Fuel video is about leadership and inspiration. And the question is, how do you motivate and inspire your team? Leadership and vision, the vision behind it is pretty critical. Maybe not critical, but like it can be a major factor in a business and what it does or does not achieve in its ambitions. Um, Examples of this, you look at Elon Musk and landing rockets, something that everybody thought was near impossible, but they did it, and now you see the Chinese companies copying it kind of a few years later. Now that it's been done, it's the obvious solution is to not throw away your rockets after they're done going to space. Um, you also see it on, Steve Jobs and Jony Ive coming out with pixel perfect iPhones. Everything is absolutely in the spot where they intended to put those pixels. Everything is so precise, and that level of detail takes an incredible vision, incredible inspiration to make sure that everybody is rising up to that level of a product. Leaders can lead in different ways. Not everybody's going to be Elon Musk, or nobody is. But lots of small mom and pop shops or tree trimming companies or whatever kind of on the ground businesses that you run. You don't need to be a Steve Jobs in those cases, but being inspirational to your team probably would help. You might inspire your team to invent new things in the case of some of those ambitious projects, or just produce better work, or maybe just the motivation and inspiration to work an extra 5 minutes past the clock timeout at 5 p.m. In the past, I've worked with companies that had the BHAGs, the Big Hairy Audacious Goals, and quarterly goals. That kind of stuff can sometimes work as long as everybody's sees the path in front of them as being feasible, and that the leadership's actually backing it up with real commitments, not just saying the words and putting a postcard on the wall to say that that's the vision. You really have to. One of the lessons I learned in the past is that leaders really have to repeat themselves extensively and regularly, and not get bored of hearing their own voice use the same talking points again and again and again on a weekly and monthly basis. One of my previous jobs, the business owner used to have a quarterly. Basically, every quarter he gave the same talk to the entire company, and that kind of repetition really became the foundation of the whole company, and set the tone of the analogies that were being used. It created that common language that everybody at the company could understand and get the references to. So, very valuable skill, being able to present your vision repeatedly to the entire company again and again, so that they actually believe that the vision is real. And in some of those big audacious ones, it's really enlightening to see how that clear vision, that inspiration, can break through the walls that once you thought that they were unbreakable, like the landing the rockets, but also in human performance, like running a 4 minute mile, or what Nike's trying to do right now with the uh, 2 hour marathon. Once thresholds like that are broken, it seems like the wall is broken, and more people are able to achieve those sorts of goals once it's proven that it's possible. Um, but the initial inspiration, the belief that it's even possible to do a 2 hour marathon, is something that requires that belief from somebody who's maybe a bit irrational, like an Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, or maybe just the coach. Somebody who's irrational enough to believe that it's possible and present that in a way that the team or the athlete actually believes that it's possible as well, and has a path to getting there. So how do I inspire? Um, those things like Elon Musk does and Steve Jobs, and those are hard ways to inspire by taking after those guys. I hope to inspire by setting a good example, working hard, learning, and being well informed enough to make good decisions and be able to explain those things um, to the team in ways that everybody can understand, that I can present ideas and understand the decisions that are made in a clear enough way. Only part of how I think about inspiring people. Um, I do think that inspiration is is maybe a skill that is worth learning. Uh, in school we learned persuasive writing, and persuasive writing kind of goes along with salesy kind of stuff. How do you persuade somebody to change their opinion on something, or purchase something, or whatever. Um, I that was something I remember doing more or less on a yearly basis in English class through high school, and maybe junior high before that. Um, but kind of taking that to the next level, going past just persuasion and getting into inspiration. I think there's probably another set of foundational, like, English techniques that are not really taught, but that could be incredibly valuable for people to learn. And maybe some of those techniques, I'm not, maybe I have a gap in my knowledge there, but I feel like storytelling is probably a core part of what it takes to be inspirational. Is is the foundation is telling that story in a way that's believable. Being inspirational is not something that I feel super confident about in practice, but writing things down, recording a video like this, doing some journaling on it really helps identify those gaps in my own understanding, and maybe giving me an opportunity in the future to try and tackle those things and learn how to be better. So, for more inspirational journaling prompts like this one, um, you can check out the website Daily Founder Fuel. That's where I send out a daily email with a prompt. That's basically all that's in the email. Something to think about related to business development and geared towards founders and entrepreneurs to help them really unlock their own thoughts and potential, and maybe inspire you guys to